This Christmas will be special, my wife whispered to me the night before Christmas Eve. Her eyes sparkled beneath the dim bedroom light, but not with joy. I couldn't tell what it was. Worry, maybe, or determination. I didn't ask. I was too busy trying to make things perfect. It had been a rough year. Job layoffs, money tight, my long hours driving Uber and freelancing for scraps, and her trying to juggle the kids, her part-time nursing shifts, and the emotional weight of keeping everything stitched together. Her name was Laura, strong, patient, kind. At least that's how I remembered her. Lately, we were more like co-workers managing a project than a couple. She barely smiled anymore, and I couldn't remember the last time I made her laugh. Still, I thought Christmas could fix that, at least soften the silence between us. I spent weeks planning everything, got the tree up early, put in extra shifts for the kids' gifts, cleaned the house, wrapped every box with care. Our two kids, Eli 9 and Rosie 6, were giddy. Laura smiled at them, hugged them close, but her gaze often drifted to places I couldn't reach anymore. I told myself it was the stress. She just needed rest, time, joy. But I was wrong. Christmas Eve came. The house was glowing with warm lights, cinnamon candles lit, carols playing softly in the background. Laura looked stunning in her red knit sweater and simple gold necklace. She moved gracefully around the kitchen, placing dishes carefully, greeting everyone with a kiss on the cheek. We'd invited family. My parents, her sister and brother-in-law, a couple neighbors. Just a small group, enough to fill the living room with laughter. Around 7 p.m., after dinner, Laura clinked her wine glass gently. "Everyone," she said, voice steady, "I want to say a few words." She smiled, but it wasn't the soft smile I loved. It was prepared. I stood beside her, holding our daughter Rosie's hand, thinking she might thank everyone or announce a vacation surprise. "I know it's Christmas Eve," she began, "and I know this might feel like the worst time to say this, but I've chosen tonight because this family deserves truth, not secrets." The room fell silent. Forks paused mid-air. She reached into a red envelope on the mantel, pulled out a sheet of paper, held it up. It read in bold letters, "Petition for divorce." I couldn't speak. I felt my stomach hit the floor. The world tilted. My mom gasped. Rosie asked, "What's that, Mommy?" And Laura gently placed the paper down before kneeling to hug her. Tears filled my eyes. "Laura, what?" She stood, not angry, not emotional, just calm. "We've been broken for a long time, Michael," she said. "I tried. I really did. But we're living two separate lives under one roof. And I can't pretend anymore." I looked around the room. Everyone looked away. No one moved. "You chose tonight for this?" I whispered. She nodded. "Yes, because I didn't want to lie to everyone anymore. I didn't want to fake smiles while my soul felt hollow. And because I know our children will heal better with truth than tension." I stood frozen. My hands trembled. She turned to our guests and said, "You don't have to take sides. I just needed to speak my truth. For once." After they left, I sat on the living room floor in silence. The lights twinkled mockingly around me. Our son Eli sat quietly, pretending to play with a toy. Rosie had gone to sleep, tears still on her cheeks. Laura sat across from me, legs crossed, hands folded. She looked tired, so tired, but free. "Why didn't you talk to me first?" I asked. "I tried, Michael, so many times. But you were always working or distracted, or saying, 'I'll fix it soon.' And I realized you're trying to save the house, the bills, the tree. But I needed you. I needed us. And we disappeared." I spent the next few days in a fog. Christmas morning was quiet. We opened gifts, ate pancakes, smiled for the kids. But something had died. Or maybe it had died long ago, and now it was buried. Weeks passed. Laura and I met with a counselor. Not to fix things, but to separate with care. She moved into her sister's place temporarily. The kids adjusted slowly. I tried to stay strong. Failed often. Then one night, everything changed. 3 months after she served the papers, I got a call from Eli's school. He'd punched another kid. My sweet, quiet son. I rushed there, panicked. Laura arrived too. For the first time in months, we sat together in the principal's office. He was acting out. He was angry, confused, grieving. That night, Laura and I talked. Not argued, not scheduled, not mediated. Just talked. We talked until 2 a.m. About how we broke. About how we missed each other. About how we hurt in silence for too long. She said, "Maybe I made a mistake." I said, "Maybe I made more." We didn't tear the papers right then. But something shifted. We agreed to try 6 months of rebuilding. Real rebuilding. Not for the kids. For us. We went to therapy. Every week. Talked. Laughed. Cried. We set dates. Took walks. Went slow. Then came the following Christmas. I took the same red envelope she once used. I gathered family again. Kids, parents, her sister. Everyone. I stood beside her and said, "Last year, Laura gave us the truth. This year, I want to offer something too." I pulled out a new document. This time, not divorce papers, but vows. New vows. Promises made in pain and rebuilt with patience. I knelt beside her and asked, "Can we restart?" She cried, nodded, and whispered, "Yes." Epilogue. We renewed our vows that spring. Not in a big church, not with grand gestures. Just us, our kids, and the people who had watched us break and heal. Now, years later, I tell this story not with shame, but with pride. Because sometimes love doesn't fail. It just gets tired. But when two people are willing to stop pretending and start listening, even the coldest Christmas can turn into the warmest new beginning.